Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski, right here on LA Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Jerod Zavistoski, and you're listening and watching Modern Male Radio. This is all the stuff your mama should have told you and the stuff your daddy never knew. And joining me tonight, as always, my co-host, Sarah Chapman.
Hi.
And Sarah's going to intro our guests.
Am I? Are you sure?
Or no, I can intro
No,
them.
I'm totally going to intro them. What the fuck do you think you're doing right now? Logan Jason Piet. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Oh, fantastic. And Brandon Clark. Welcome.
Cool. So these are two show veterans. We've had Brandon on. We've had you on, what, 3 episodes now? This is your second one. You coming back?
Second one.
It's cool because we always have these guests on. We have these great guests on, and they have so much to talk about that we never get to cover it all in one segment. So I mean, I think we had you on 3 times in the beginning, and we still haven't covered we haven't even scraped the surface of the stuff that we could be talking
What's
about.
going on at the tip of this iceberg over here?
Technically speaking, you are correct about that, Jerod.
Not to toot his own horn or anything.
Not that we didn't go over good things and cover a lot of stuff, but we did it. We rocked it out.
Yeah, and I think there were even times where it was just like, okay, go, just take it.
Yeah.
And you took it for like 20 minutes, and we still didn't get to the bottom. We ended up spending the next 4 hours talking about the stuff that we didn't get to talk about on the show.
I apologize for that, by the way.
No, don't. Well, and now people get to put a face to the voice because when you were on the first time, it was only radio. So now we get to have your handsome mug on here. People could put a face to the voice to the match the madness. And I always love it when you come in here without I've seen pictures of you on other people's shows.
Shirts on.
He lost his words.
And like every time that you come in here without sleeves, I'm like, why do you come on my show with sleeves? Like trying to look all tiny and
Well,
shit.
you got the tank top on, so.
Yeah, come on. You got to show them off a little bit.
Is it Flex Friday? No, it's Thursday, but we can make it whatever we want to.
That's right.
Flex almost Friday. Cool. So tonight we're going to be talking about something that it needs to be talked about because it's something that we've never really gotten to dial in on and dial down, but it's diet. Diet is one of the most important things. Any athlete will tell you that that's what matters. It almost matters more than training.
Hands down, which is why I brought my water bottle tonight.
What's that fizzing in there?
So water, it's a water bottle.
It's sparkling water.
Sparkling.
Oh, sparkling.
I enjoy sparkling water.
Yellow sparkling water.
It's good for the stomach.
You know.
Yeah.
Just put a little flavor in there. So, yeah,
So Jason,
it's important.
or sorry, Logan, you have fucking 8 first names. That's so hard.
You did that the
He
first time
does
I
it
was
with
on your
many
show.
of
No,
our
that's
guests,
fine.
actually.
But I told you it doesn't matter.
I saved you in my phone. Originally, it's Jason Logan, and then once I realized it was Logan Jason, now I'm like, okay. But then you've got all these. It's just a phonetical nightmare.
I think he's going to answer to Jason still, too,
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
I'll just call you LJ.
Hey, that's a new one. That's a new one.
LJ.
There you go.
I'm never going to remember his name now. Thank you very much.
You got this training program called 22 Days, and it's a complete juicing program, right? Like it's all about detoxification.
It's a detox, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I might need this.
So let's run through that real quick. What do you do? How do you do it? Why?
Well, 22 Days is the company name, so I just kind of utilized the 21 days for the habit, the 22 days for the day of celebration. So I just use that as a novelty piece for the detox program. So it's pretty aggressive, but it's, you feel like a magical person when you finish it. So it's, day 1 to 22. And during those 3 weeks, it's a combination of liquid juice, NutriBullets or solid juice, soups, and fruit. So it's all plant-based.
So on day 22, does Fuddruckers happen or like what? What's the celebration? I just want to know what I have to look forward to as far as a cheat day goes.
Well, I don't call it cheat days. I call them reward days.
Fan-frickin-tastic.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, you can definitely have whatever you want.
So just go ham on day 22.
Go hammer it out.
Ham, pastrami, all of it.
Whatever you want, yeah.
So
And
wait,
your stomach's going to love you right after.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
so during this detox program, I mean, how are you getting your protein sources? Are you getting it all plant-based?
Yeah, getting all plant-based, and you're consuming a lot of supplements to ward off antioxidants. You're doing some amino acids, glutamine, stuff like that, just to keep the muscle intact.
Okay.
You're not going to lose very much. You're going to get flat for sure. Your muscles will get flat because there's no, food going in there to keep the fuel tank full. So the glycogen storage goes down, of course. So that's going to happen. But the stomach gets super flat. I get a ton of energy when I do it.
I think I got to go on this diet, man.
yeah, I might
I'm
really
getting,
have
I'm getting
to
a little pudgy
look
over here.
into
Brandon's
this.
been looking me up and down since I got in here. He's like, what happened to you?
The
don't
average
judge,
is
man.
a pound a day. Is the average person.
Wow.
Unless you're like, I don't think you would, but the average person who's a little bit overweight will decrease a pound a day.
Damn,
You're
dude.
talking 20 pounds.
How
in
many
3 weeks.
sparkling waters is that, roughly, the next 22 days?
Well, it's a lot of water too.
Okay.
Yeah. You're doing about, like I said, some days are just juice only. So
Sparkling
you're doing
water.
3/4 to a gallon of juice a day, and then whatever water. So it'd be like 2 gallons of liquid a day.
Wow.
So you're flushing and flushing and flushing.
So at first, do you bloat or?
No, not at
No?
all. No, but I mean, remember, it's essential when you do a detox to not consume solid foods as much, because that's when it turns the detox switch off and the digestion switch on. So
Right.
literally, it's hard to do both at the same time. So
Okay.
the methodology I've used for this is, you're using a lot of detox methods from turning that switch on by going to straight liquids.
So but this is more geared to, this isn't a sustainable diet thing that you would do to train on. This
Well,
is a detox.
Yeah, it's not a diet, it's a healthy regimen. I don't like using that word because it has negative connotations to
Okay.
the word. I hate diet, so I like to use healthy regimen. But yeah, it's just something to do to kickstart. And I mean, I think everybody should do a detox at least once a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Because
coming up on that year mark. I really am. But I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, like, what happens though, as far as sustainability goes? Do you balloon after this? After you start?
Well, it depends
eating
on
again?
what. That's a good question, and it depends on what you're consuming. If
Yeah,
you're
so
gonna,
that's
if you
the
eat,
problem right
if
here.
you eat like shit, and then you go back to that again, of course your body's gonna probably go right back to the
Yeah.
way it was. So it's something where you. That's the reason. Again, the reason why the habit thing and the 21 days, the habit aspect, is that once you go into this program, you're more than likely to continue on a road of more plant-based foods. Not necessarily mean you don't have to consume meats, or you're not going to, but you're more going to be more in the notion of eating more plant-based stuff.
So Brandon, what do you
Got it.
think about it?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think detoxing is a good thing. There is some issues with the brain that comes on, and there's a filtration system that happens when you're detoxing. You have to be careful of. But there are some wonderful aspects to that. The digestive system is a huge thing, and we are all genetically different. There's a lot of issues that go on genetically and stuff.
Yeah,
So
my
ho-
brain would kick
But
in.
you know,
and
I come
would
from
just
the
be like,
athlete
"Fuck
world,
this,"
so that
I
would
think.
just kill me. I'd die. I'd peel over and die. Like just one day of what I do work would be a destruction zone, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, it's a different toll. I go from a different.
And you're
approach
doing
to it.
high intensity athletic training though for Olympians and stuff though.
You can call them Olympians, any kind of athlete, but high intensity training and true high intensity training.
Okay.
Yeah,
So when you talk about
that's a misused word, by the way.
what's that, Olympian?
Like HIIT or high intense.
Is that
high
with like
intense
one
interval
eye,
training.
like 4 eyes, and an emoji? Like,
Yeah. Or you mean you're talking about this right now, or what?
I don't know. HIIT training. It's like
hands.
high,
That's
but then
good.
like hit, and I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, the high. You mean
Yeah.
like high intense?
Yeah.
It's an abbreviation
exactly.
to the HIIT because you don't want to just say HIIT all the time. You know?
Right.
Like you're trying to get fancy with it.
well, I have
Yeah.
no idea what the fuck is going on.
I
right
don't
now.
know either. That's why I just like to bring that out there.
So we're talking about the fact that you would obviously need, more carbs, more recovery and stuff because of what's going on. The high
Actually,
intensity.
Logan said a great thing when we were in the waiting room and stuff. He was talking about how, in another hour or something, I might have a little bit of the mood swings when I said, because you know exactly what's coming. But he knows it from experience, and it's a good thing to know and take knowledge to.
True, yeah.
And everyone's going to experience things differently. I think detox is an important factor, but some people, they may not be able to handle that many days right off the bat. So maybe a 3-day trial is good, and then branch off into longer days and stuff like that. You do have to be very cognitive of brain cell activity and what happens during that time. We have like a filter screen, and at one point that deteriorates when we don't have the lathering of the system. So like carbs and certain things that actually take care of that. And carbs get a bad rap, but I would be dead without them.
I'd be completely dead. I would be so
Mm.
dead. I would be calling you on the phone, cussing you out. Like, I haven't had bread. I haven't had pasta.
Don't
What's going
cuss
on
me
here?
out because I'll tell you to.
Yeah,
you
you'd
know,
probably
like-
tell me to But then I'd call you and I'd be like, how do I deal with
But
this?
you
with the
got to
mood
know. I come
swings?
from a different world, and he's right about the shock therapy point of it. It is going to bring shock to the body, like boom. And right after, at least like most people who would talk about it won't give you the other ends, like he just did, which is a great point. Is that, hey, at the end of this, watch out, like your body will relapse, and it's
Right.
going to relapse hard. So what are you taking from this to move on forward and to continue that process?
Okay.
And keep the body healthy and in those zones.
Yeah,
and
it's almost as what he said. It's almost as important to know what you're going to do coming off as in going into it and doing
Okay.
the detox itself, right? So, but I mean, yeah, it's it's a matter of the oxytocin levels in the brain. I mean, those things are definitely play a vital role. But I think it's a sacrifice to actually take advantage of the detox and really clean your system out. Because let's face it, everybody kills the body. The body's so resilient. brilliant, but people put a beating down on it for years and years and years and years and years. And even the people say, "Oh, I eat so clean."
Already over here.
We're all guilty of that. But I mean, literally, I have people that I know that they're in their mid-50s that had triple bypass surgeries last year and just didn't even know it was going to happen. It's just out of the blue. So it's a matter of like we all take our health for granted. So it's all a matter of what I call pro-youth. It's prevention. And if you don't do that preventative measure, just because you're not sick doesn't mean you're healthy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's that measure of saying, okay, I'm going to do this 3 weeks. Is not a lot of time.
Yeah,
a lot of people have never done a week detox in their entire life.
Right.
You know what I mean? 3 weeks is
I've never done a day. I don't think I've done.
Well, there's a lot of detoxes out
half
there.
a day?
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of them out there that are terribly bad for you.
Yep.
Terribly bad. I don't know anything about yours, but I did hear some key elements that are better. He was bringing up the soups. He was bringing up the fruits. Those things fruits are carbs too. So there's balance in that. And that is key. You can't last that many days unless you have that balance. So I heard a few things that definitely balance that out for sure. And that you got to watch that danger zone, because if you're seeing like, hey, I'm going on cayenne pepper and lemon water, and for these many days, okay, have fun with that. But I'll see you in 3 days when you're
I'm
on
gonna live
relapse
off
mode.
grapefruits for a year straight, just grapefruits
Right.
and cayenne pepper. Actually, I really did that. It was not good.
Well, and if it's well balanced and you have someone
There
who's
was no
really
balance
taking you
there.
through it, I can totally see the benefits of it.
So when you said that everybody's different, do you have a specific way of diagnosing that, or do you just work with people who are very in tune with their bodies?
No, one is you do have to be in tune with your body, but I'll tell you how I actually normally start. I know people are different on this, but I see such great results in research that come from it. So a lot of my athletes, we go after the blood type and we start there. And it's just a foundation which you build upon. So we're building that building block and then we build thereafter. So you can divide the human race into 33 categories. That's pretty helpful. So then we take it and we go male and female, we're at 66 and we're almost there. And now we're narrowing in closer. And now from those zones, you find those key elements and you'll notice you're getting a lot of energy from it. But then the biggest element is, okay, now we take that and now eat clean. And then it changes everything. It's a game changer. Like for instance, for me, I'm an O positive. A lot of athletes are, and we digest red meat really well. We have different enzymes in our system that allow us to digest. I don't have any issues with it. But I know I get way more energy. I have a way better mood by certain things like dark greens, red meat, and usually like sweet potatoes and things like that in the mix, because it's a balancing source for me. But that's not going to work with everybody. And I can see that because you got to think about where we come from in our later generations and stuff. So a lot of times from the areas we came from, you look from our ancestors and stuff, they were the strongest, the fittest in that area, and that's what happened and came from that. And a lot of that's developed from that, and we are the result of that later down the road. There's a lot of good doctors who are on it. Some of them are not the best with certain things, but it's a good way to start and find those key elements and then use them.
It was Dr. Diamoto or Diamo?
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, he's
Diamo?
good. And then there's Park and a couple others that are really on point.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good at that. It's a good thing to do and just check out anyway. If you don't know your blood type, check out your blood type, like for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've always followed the Eat Right for Your Blood Type diet. I mean, when I actually follow a diet plan of any kind and I'm not drinking and eating like shit.
And you know what I mean? Not following it to the T, right? Like it says no avocado for me, but avocado to me is a superfood. It does not slow me down or make me feel bad. So like for instance, if I don't feel like I can get up and run a mile right after I eat, screw digesting. If I don't feel like I can get up and go do work right after I eat, then there's something going on.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I've been playing around with that. I've been experimenting. And when you said red meats, dark greens, and sweet potatoes, I was like, I actually kind of tailored my diet recently to kind of fit that a little bit more before I met Sarah, of course. I
don't even know where that came from.
And it's crazy because I was just thinking that. I was like,
that.
there are things that I can eat that I mean, little things. I'll eat one bite of it and I'm like, ugh. Or I can eat an entire plate of food, but if it's the right kind of food, I feel like I can get up and go fight.
You're hitting like the key marker there. I know where that's not our subject, but doctors will say, hey, calories in, calories out. We're meant to burn calories, last time I checked. And so especially for me, like coming from the athlete world and who I have, I got to keep those people on point, and they need to be consuming like crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a different result from that. But it's the quality of the consumption. That's all it comes down to.
Just no shitty food.
Yeah.
So how does this? So obviously you're not sitting here wasting away. So you're athletically training every single day.
Yep.
How does the detox plan tailor after that? Is it similar to this? Do you have any thoughts on the blood type thing?
Yeah, I've read some of the Eat Right for Your Blood Type stuff. I may be negative, so I'm the most rare blood type.
Yeah.
And it's but that doesn't mean that it's not easy or difficult. I think it has its place in food consumption. I really do. Do I follow it to a T? No. It's not on my top list, but I've kind of correlated my own thing. I mean, I've done so much trial and error on myself, as probably all you guys have done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my training stays the same. My training is the best it's ever been because I don't lift heavy anymore. I just go in and circuit train. And I'm not really trying to build. I'm just trying to get more symmetrical. And
Is that where you get those veins from?
Those are genetic.
Prominent.
I was born with these.
I was. Yeah. Yeah, my father's 69 and he has the arms just like that.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's genetics. But yeah, I mean, I when I consume a lot of reds like beets and watermelon, instantly my vascularity goes up.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So what's the science behind that? Why would it be?
Beets are known to, watermelon. Those are known a good combination for the blood and to get it.
Okay.
Never been a fan of beets, but I might.
You got to make them taste good.
Bake it like a baked potato.
Yeah, or bake. Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting some recipes
Or you can
here.
juice them.
Baked
Or you can juice
beets.
Or you can juice them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Juice
That'll be
them.
one purple drink. You know how it rolls.
I guess so. I guess I'm gonna juice some beets tomorrow.
Yeah. You got to have the right
Bake 'em.
recipes. Food is everything. Is taste.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like
I never ate
pizza.
vegetables growing up, so I was a carnivore, a complete carnivore. And then I went to vegetables and I learned how to make sauces and spices. Good, and when you have that happen, if you're good in the kitchen, man, you can eat really healthy.
Yeah.
Most people I know, they don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
They just don't, and that's the
love cooking.
problem.
Yeah.
You love cooking. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
It's been so hot lately. That's my excuse. That's really not my excuse, but it has. It's been really freaking hot.
You're just habitual.
So
We're all
you
creatures
just
of habit.
don't
Right.
want
That's
to
it.
eat because it's hot.
Damn it, you
Yeah.
figured me out. Well, I mean, there's a lack of motivation when it's like 95 in my apartment.
Technically, it's
It
my
was
fault.
like-
I introduced her to Eat24.
That too.
Eat24 is an app that you.
I thought we were
you
talking
just-
about Grubhub.
It's like it's an internet app that you literally just click a button and your food comes.
I do love Eat24. I still freaking love Eat24.
They
But
should
yeah.
owe you guys right now.
They actually.
Oh no, you have
do
no idea. We've been trying to
know
like
us.
we've actually run little ad campaigns for them.
E24.
running one right now. Again,
Yeah.
look at us go. Eat24.
And then they were like, "Oh, we can't sponsor you," and I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, fuck you then. We're gonna do Grubhub." But I just
I know.
I
Like, when you
can't.
said
Wait
it,
to get
but
them back.
Every single
Wait to get
day.
them
I'm
back.
like,
They have the best ad copy in the history of the
They
world.
really do.
They
They're
send out
so
these little
freaking
emails
smart.
and they're just so funny. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I love you. I can't help but
they
love
just
you.
draw us back
They're
in
charming.
every second.
It's such a charming app.
It really is.
So yeah,
Some healthy choices though there if you choose them.
this is a love-hate relationship. E24.
It absolutely is.
Back to diet and fitness and all this stuff. So what's your diet? What's your daily diet look like, Logan? And what's your daily diet look like, Brandon?
Depends on what I'm doing. I mean, if I'm eating super clean, I drink a lot of my food now, so I'm Nutribullet crazy.
Okay.
So I'll just like in the morning time, I'll take like a cup of oatmeal,
I drink a lot of my food
spinach,
too.
parsley, cilantro, pineapple. That's my breakfast,
Okay.
That's
and
actually
I drink
really
it.
good.
It's actually really good. If you have enough pineapple in it, if you don't, it tastes kind of bland. But I always wake up. I'm a big salt intaker, so most people don't. Most people are salt deficient. So I make what's called Soleil, which is a combination of pink Himalayan sea salt and water. And then you put it in a bottle like you would put a third of salt and then the rest with water. And every day when I wake up in the morning, I take a tablespoon and I drink it. Because, of course, it has all the 84 trace minerals. Most people are mineral deficient and vitamin deficient. So when
Okay.
you drink the salt, I mean, your body's made up of salt, water, and salt. So if you're missing the salt element, most people are anti-salt. Think about it. I mean, when I was growing up, I'm sure you, because we're about the same age, I was like, no salt, low sodium, low sodium. And I think people really have that ingrained in their mind of not having salt.
My mom always said if your body's craving it, it needs it. So
That's
Partly
very-
true.
I love
it's very
salt.
partially true.
Partially
the
true,
other
yeah.
the other thing is like we did have us high. Depends on how you ate,
Mm-hmm.
because there was potential for super high sodium in your diet.
Yeah.
Like, but if we like the way he's talking about eating, you better add that. Plus his absorption rate's going to go up.
That's right.
oh, so salt actually helps you absorb. Okay. So what? Wait, what are we talking about with the minerals? What is that?
Well-
Is it water? You get the minerals from a certain kind of water?
No,
I
no,
missed
just
that.
it's just spring water and Himalayan pink sea salt. You can buy the rocks or the chunks. And you
Okay.
Just, yeah, but the thing about it is, like Dr. Joel Wallach, one of my favorites. He says if you die from a disease, you die from that disease. If you die from natural causes, you die of a vitamin and mineral deficiency, guaranteed. So if you grow old, it'll be 150, 200. I mean, they say people today can live to be 150, right? And how is that possible when the
It's a really
soil's depleted?
long
And
life.
well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, I want to exceed that. Why not?
150?
Why not?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Be
Rock-
Twilight.
Sarah's in.
You're an easy sell.
Yeah, no, not really. I'm like 150. Geez.
But I mean,
Well,
if you're a healthy,
If I'm a healthy 150, sure.
I mean, sky's the limit. I think. I mean, they talk about immortality all the time. They do.
I think at that point, I think past 100, you'd just be sitting there tripping out on everything. Like, because they say that technology is about to actually hit, an upswing to the point where we're dealing with nanotechnology and biotechnology. So now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, we got this thing called computers and the technical revolution, and we're going to start merging that with living systems. That's going to be really interesting. And then if you look at what's happened in the last 10 years, I mean, there was a time in all of our lifetimes when the internet didn't exist. And now it's like, I mean, the internet's in a phone.
True. I can only imagine how many followers I'm going to have at 150. I mean, that's a lot of followers.
That would do great for our Instagrams, right?
Yeah.
Social media. all the way.
I can't wait to see either. As long as your brain's intact at 150 to
Probably
see
not,
that,
but
I know. Do you see senior citizens doing selfies at the
Wow.
convalescent homes?
That's actually
It's
something
gonna
that
come,
I need
though.
to
It's probably going to
start.
come, huh?
Once that
When it
culture gets that
happens.
age,
I'm going to be there.
it's happening. It might
So-
be. There'll be something else by that point. It won't even be a selfie.
It
thing.
Definitely.
won't. Yeah.
Brandon, you've mentioned this a few times, and I want to get back to this before we lose this train of thought. But you keep mentioning brain cells and that filter thing. So
And not
Is
an
that-
Instagram filter. We're
is
talking
that
like
brain damage?
Yeah, yeah.
What
A
is
real
that brain damage
filter.
that you're talking about? Is it permanent and is it reversible?
Once you lose cells, you're not gaining them back.
Okay.
Like us going out and partying.
Damn
drinking
it,
and stuff.
Brandon.
It's
You
just
just killed my
it's
vibe.
it sucks and it doesn't feel that way, but it's the truth.
Okay.
The only thing that you have to realize is that food also is a fuel source for the brain, and your brain is going to determine of how that body's going to operate. A lot of how I train my athletes, it has a lot to do with neurology. Like their neural pathways are totally receptive, and they gain their coordination through that process. And we go after the coordination skill sets like that to adapt the neuro in there. So that subconsciously they perform better, not even realizing it, and moving better and more efficient. Therefore, injury prevention and all that takes place.
So what's the theory when everyone says like the brain is plastic and every 7 years you can retrain it or remold and reshape? Is that
there's a lot we're not tapping into, obviously.
That's
I mean,
psychology.
We're
I mean,
Yes.
I've heard a few things
This is
here and there.
psychology.
I'd like to
Psychology
use
101.
the loopholes I can.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, I'm not the brain expert or anything like that. I just try to be cognitive of those things because it's a very important facet we got to keep track of. I do believe firmly, and I'm riding on this right now, is that I think we can solve a lot of Alzheimer's just simply by the way that we train, the way that we work out, and how we do it. If you've got very dynamic movements that take a lot of concentration and focus and anti-rotation, all these things, that's a real word for core. Core is a BS word, but anti-rotation, all these.
Anti-rotation.
Yes.
Putting
We
that
don't
in
want to
my
use that. Who wants to use
vocabulary.
that?
I don't know. I kind
I
of want
use
to
it all
use
the
it.
time.
I kind of like it.
But these things help neurally, you recept things much more efficient. And when you're constantly putting that work, like you're saying, I look at my grandfather who is just on point. I'm amazed for all that he's been through. He's on point because he plays like solitaire all the time. He's doing puzzles and all these great games on computers now
Hold
Crossword
that thought, Brandon. We're
puzzles,
getting a
puzzles.
caller. So I think somebody probably wants to ask you a question.
Ooh.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. What show's on tonight?
This is Modern Male Radio.
Maybe not as.
Hi, caller.
Topic?
What's that?
What's the topic?
We're talking about neurology right now.
I don't know how we got on that.
We're talking about diet and how it affects your brain.
Who do we?
Well, that'll leave you speechless because you all don't have any.
Oh, we've got a douche on the line. Amazing. Thanks so much for calling in.
Wait, this could
Much
get fun.
better than that. Come on, girl.
Wait,
All right, well, I have a question for you. I was
shoot.
just on the show a few weeks ago. You're going to cut me off now?
So who is this?
Maybe you can figure it out. The longer I talk, maybe you'll figure it out.
Oh, I
This
think
is
I
Jerod,
figured it
right?
out.
Jerod,
Jerod.
remember we had a last one-night stand the other day?
Who the fuck is this?
Pretty sure it's Brazilian.
We're having fun right now. apparently.
Totally.
You
All right.
remember?
You guys have a good night, and
Robbie
thanks for calling in.
Bye, honey. Bye. Oh gosh, I just love women that just can't get
Can
over
we
it.
elaborate on
Just,
how that ties into nutrition? Right
You
there?
know, some bitches just can't be satisfied. They can't get fed. And
How
I'm
do-
sorry.
how
You
would
burned
it-
a lot of
Sorry.
calories apparently, or you didn't do anything. I
No,
don't
but
know.
that's the thing. Like everybody's got this idea that like I'm out there just banging all my guests from the show, and like every now and again, like some jealous dude will be like, oh, well, you just fucking have the show so you can hit on girls. And I'm like, dude, if you knew how little action I got in the last year, it would shock you. Because
you don't have to defend any of it.
I
Let's
literally
just say this much.
I don't shit where I eat. So I fucking keep it so professional.
I've known you for years, man. Business is business. I got it.
There's no need to defend
You
any
got
of
it. But for my listeners out there who just,
Why are you giving attention to something like that?
There's no need.
Well,
fair
moving
enough.
on.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was a phantom call as far as we know. Bye.
Yeah, we could just edit that whole thing out. Cool. So back to what I'm curious about is are foods that you eat, like, can they damage your brain cells?
Well, there are good foods. I'd rather focus on the good foods that actually help the brain.
Okay.
Let's talk about our fats, the omega-3s, the superfoods. All your antioxidants are going to be in that point. Things like avocado and things like that are your superfood and your super fats as well. The good fats that you do need are always in support of the brain. Those are the things that you should focus on instead of the bad things. Just because once you focus on the good things, all the bad things are going to eliminate themselves. Mm-hmm. Like he's saying, you're not going to eat the same after. I totally agree with that. I think the approach of what he's doing with the detox and all that stuff, it hopefully will change you and change your habits, and you won't. It's enough days where you're going to desire different things. Just like when you work out, you desire different things when you don't work out.
That's very true. I've kind of gotten into a really bad pattern lately. So I'm bleeding a lot for this. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should go on this 20, right? Can you just be my therapist for a second? No, it's just a matter of getting back on track and staying on track, and then finding out what you need to do to continue being on the good track.
It's premeditating it, because if you don't do something now, then when you're medically challenged, then you're going to be forced to. And that stresses the shit out of you, which causes cortisol to get raised, adrenaline, fatigue. I mean, there's a whole bunch of crap that happens when you're medically challenged.
Right.
Like whether it's a triple bypass, whether it's diabetes, whatever. But I mean, America's sick, dude. Over half of America's on prescription drugs.
So prevention is key. And then
prevention's key.
Maintaining a balanced lifestyle,
That's right. And
diet, exercise.
Right, exactly. And, a friend of mine introduced something called the One Habit. And it's basically just picking one thing and installing it in your life.
I need to not have that one thing be Bud Light Lime. But past that, it's gonna be something way better. And I'm listening.
Yeah, no, but it's very easy to do. You just choose one thing and then say, I'm going to do that for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks.
So like juicing.
Then move on to the next. Right.
Exactly.
Or like
not this kind of
the salt intake's a big thing. All my clients, I put them on salt first because most people are salt deficient. So if you can just do that every day, great. And then once you get that established, then we move you on to something else.
What if you're like a huge sodium intake?
No, you're not talking about moving on. You're talking about stacking on top of.
So that's what I mean, stacking on top.
Moving on to the next.
Right, moving on to the next one. Thank you for that.
What if you need to cut sodium out?
Well, you're probably having the wrong sodium.
Okay.
Big difference.
I don't know anybody really who consumes too much good pink Himalayan sea salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing then.
Most people don't
Well,
even
I mean,
know where
there's
to buy
obviously something you can take. You can take a lot of something.
Right.
And
I'm not trying to
abuse it,
overdose on.
But I don't really know anybody in the health world that takes too much pink Himalayan sea salt.
Got it. So it's good for you.
So there's
very good.
There's obviously a huge difference between that salt and the refined salt or whatever it is.
Well, because there's not the essential minerals are stripped. And that's where salt got its bad rap. That's why people say hypertension, high blood pressure, no good. But that was based upon the table salt that was stripped.
Okay.
Back in the 80s.
Like refined
70s.
sugar versus
exactly.
cane sugar. Is any sugar good? I don't think.
No,
glucose is good.
Sugar is a necessity. It just depends on the quality of the sugar and the natural source of it.
Fruit-based sugars and stuff like that. But
Even though, not so much.
Would you guys eat brown sugar or
I would put it into certain things, but then again, you're talking about where you're getting it and what's the source and the quality of
and
it.
how much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So no Menchie's. Menchie's is out. Just
The sugar's the sugar's
doing
probably
it all
not even
wrong.
on the top of what's really bad in that stuff.
True.
That's GMO number one. I can guarantee.
very true.
that.
My mom would appreciate that. She's huge on no GMO. Every time she comes to visit me, grocery store shopping is just a completely different experience.
Yeah. Well, you should
I
listen to Mom
appreciate
all
it.
the
I
time.
do listen to her, and I love her. And your advice is similar.
Moms know best.
Moms
Yes.
know. Yeah.
Yep. My mom always told me, she's like, if you crave it, you probably need it. But then again, I crave pepperonis. I'm sure I didn't need those.
That's funny.
Dude, there were certain times. I mean, dude, I remember once
Just find another meat, bro.
I ate an entire jar of pepperoncinis, and then they started to digest, and I was like, that was the only time I've ever had to use a public restroom, ever in my entire life. Was from that.
Where was the public restroom?
It was at school. It was it was in high school.
I just
And it
feel
was
bad for the people that came in there right after.
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah.
You got a natural diuretic right there, homie. Way to go.
It was like napalm to the eyes. Just walking there all burning and stinging and shit.
That just happened.
So, okay, we've talked about carbs a little bit. I mean, this is good stuff, but I really want to get kind of like a finite, like, okay, here's what you should do. Because talking about this stuff is great, but I think opening people's minds to it's awesome. But then they go on the internet, they get lost in the information, and they end up just, it becomes overwhelming. You guys both have coaching programs on this, right? You have a subscription site on health fitness, and you have the 22 days thing. Is that... explain what it is that you guys have available for our viewers, and they're both reasonably priced as well, so that people can know where they can go to get this information.
Facebook, Instagram, websites.
I have a site called relentlessfitx.com, and that's a subscription page. There's a basic level and there's an advanced level. My advanced level is generally for strength and conditioning coaches, trainers, things like that. And then the basic level is for anybody every day. But most of the time what you'll find is people will just want the advanced level because they get everything. And it's affordable. The basic's like $9 a month and the advanced is $14. And it's one of those things where if you just want workouts given to you, you can get it. But it's very well described as opposed to just the workouts. As far as nutrition goes, since that is the topic, you can contact me or people on there via stuff, and we will always send like little clips back during the day or whatever on things or little quick questions. If you email us or whatever, or you put something on, and my IT person is a rock star and they usually get back to you.
What about if I just want you to come over to my house and cook for me? Is that a possibility? Is there a
that.
Dropbox?
I think that's Logan's department, actually.
Oh, okay,
that might
good.
be. It
Good.
might be. I don't know if I have the time. I can't even leave my facility right now.
It's great to be busy.
Yes, and that we also have a new gym we're building. It's the Relentless Fit X too, and a new facility. As well.
Nice. Where at?
Cool. Yeah, where's that?
It will be in Valencia. And
That's so
I
far.
know.
Really?
Don't worry. We are working on figuring out how we're going to branch out to other areas. That is on the approach.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right.
Cool.
But you one step at a time, like he's talking about. It's just it's a great. Our facilities are very different too. They're very interactive. So. Basically, when we do a screening process to mandatory things. We're trying to kill that class epidemic. So you can go to class, but what I mean by that is you get functionally screened to figure out asymmetries, problems that are going on, apply you uniquely to the group, and then you go into your HIIT or whatever you want to do, conditioning circuit basis wise.
So it's not one size fits all. It's very uniquely designed.
Yes, and you don't have to feel intimidated by it. It's not like grandma and an NFL player doing the same workout or ramps or whatever,
Right.
or racing for time or anything. It's
And that
very,
prevents
very, very
injuries
structured.
and all that kind of stuff.
And we can work on all those issues, dysfunctions. We got PT people a part of all of our stuff. Vargo Physical Therapy is awesome. They're doing their stuff. A doctor in-house, sports therapist in-house,
Nice.
sports massage therapist. And then,
Ooh,
professional
I like
athletes
that. I
to
like that.
anybody. That's the whole point. Everybody trains in the same
Massage.
place. Everyone is an athlete. Doesn't matter who you are. And then we have interactive things. So basically, once you've gone through your screening, which is really easy, it's just 3 30-minute sessions and stuff. And then you can learn about what to do in the place. You've got all these monitors. You can just flip up videos and everything from the best guys around. Like Coach Dose and Boyle and all these guys that are amazing. And then Recovery Center's got all these shoulder mods, issues going on. You can do your self-serve kind of thing stuff too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What about the staff? Are there some attractive guys that are working the physical therapy and
I'll
massage
work on that.
part of that? Is there like
No
a
offense,
screening
guys. I'll work on
process?
that. No, there's some good-looking guys.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say if you need to give anybody like an audition or that kind of thing, just
all right,
pre-screening for massage therapists.
You're welcome
especially.
anytime you want. We'll have.
Wonderful.
I'm not gonna name any dudes' names, but you can come
Why
right in.
not?
And
They'll love me for that.
Thanks
one.
for playing. Yes.
and what have you got going on, Logan?
Well, I have my website, 22 days, 2days.com. That's where my detox program, it's $500, $4.99. I do a la carte nutrition counseling for $150 for an hour. And I do come to your house and cook if it's something.
There it
that,
is.
Wow.
It's I only do it for select people though. I don't do it for everybody, but because it's a very unique.
Time consuming. Yeah.
It is, and it's still driving, and I don't do personal training anymore because it's just too time consuming.
Yeah.
I'm out of that realm now. This would be the guy to talk to on that. But I also, I'm involved with the stem cell therapy in Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
I also recommend a guy named Philip Battiade from a Physio in Beverly Hills. He's got all these great little gadgets and high-tech stuff that I just met the guy a couple weeks ago, but he's got some fantastic stuff in his super salon, for the body. Yeah.
You got one of those neurology machines? Have you guys heard of those? The ones you hook up to the electrodes and they go through and they.
Yeah. Well, he's got one that's called Global Diagnostics. They hook you up to electrodes on your 2 ankles. and it takes 8 minutes. It goes up and down the body, and it'll tell you exactly what's going on with you.
Yeah.
This is great. It's a full scan.
I like that.
Yeah, that's just, so I have that guy. And then, of course, like I said, the stem cells, in case, if you want to get stem cells, we have that capability at Cedars-Sinai.
That's where I was born.
Oh, yeah?
Shout out to where I was
there you
born.
go, no Cedars.
Hey.
And then, what my main thing now is I use psychology with using astrology, numerology, Briggs-Myers of personality types in with the physical. Because if I know what makes you tick, and I know what creature or habit you are, it makes it very much a more simple method for me to kind of go and what you need.
It's like a full stalker approach right there.
It is.
Just going to get right in there.
But I mean, it's necessary because if I don't really know what makes
this.
you tick, and it really has a lot of brain-based. I also have a friend in San Francisco. He's got the largest brain database called My Brain Solutions. You can go on mybrainsolutions.com, and he's got really a monopoly on the brain. And he's got the largest brain database. Pretty sick. So,
nice.
He's a neuroscientist. So
I feel like if we all just combine powers, it'd be like Captain Planet up in this bitch.
Yeah.
Where's my cape?
Boom.
Yeah.
I actually, dude, this stuff's so awesome. I want to try it all. Like, I really want to go through your program. And
I foresee the next 22 days of our lives changing drastically.
getting crazy.
E24 is going to be done.
Well,
They're
and
gonna be
it's
so
crazy
mad.
because Brandon's a filmmaker, and that's how we met. We actually did film
This is true.
together back in the day.
True.
This was years and years and years ago.
You forgot it. Yeah, my kinesiology and film was at the same time, and that was.
So we should document the journey.
We could. Technically, I do have a production company. This guy has some wild stories, by the way.
I don't doubt that.
I should technically never talk to him again. No, I'm just kidding.
We've been through some shit. We've been through some shit.
Lie. That is no lie.
But it was fun, and they make for great stories at the end of it. Oh, good Lord. We're not going to talk about those here. But it's funny because we got through the outro, and we still have about 10, 15 minutes. So is there anything that's pertinent that you guys want to add that you feel like maybe needs to be talked about? In regards to diet, nutrition, is there anything you guys want to get out that maybe I didn't ask you the proper question on?
On the subject?
Mm-hmm.
Or we could just shoot the shit. I mean, we could talk about anything.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about fitness, we can go deep into some stuff too, or whatever anybody wants to hear. But I would say on a nutrition basis too, go with your feeling. Don't let someone tell you exactly right and wrong, exactly on point, because we're so different.
Mm-hmm.
If you can have that approach, then you can try certain things and really kind of find yourself. Like he's talking about the psychological approach. I think that's great. But that's a finite tuning for you. We're so different, and we have to expose that. That's the biggest thing, And as I work with the Olympians now, it's like I need to get to know them at an extreme level, and they usually are very vulnerable to it because you're seeing them in vulnerable circumstances. So things expose, and maybe he doesn't get to see him in this vulnerable circumstance, but it's a good approach to really get to know somebody, which I think is a great caption to the whole thing. It's not like, here's just a detox. Yo, what's up with you?
Right. Here's your one size fits all. I'm going to push this on you. It's my business and blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
And neither of you are, for our guests and viewers out there, we've covered this in past shows, but I think it is also an important topic to cover. Neither of you are big on weight training.
Do you lift?
How so? Be careful there.
Neither of you are big on heavy weight training.
I do believe in lifting heavy. However, it's all in Olympic lifts and very, very strategic Olympic lifting that's done with execution, efficient rest, and protocol that is progressively building you into your dynamics. It can be very safe done right, but I will tell you this. Not everybody is made for Olympic lifting. Olympic lifting doesn't find – you don't find Olympic lifting. Olympic lifting finds you. There's some people who are predisposed that should never Olympic lift based on hip ratios.
Strategic modified lifting.
Very. We were very functional. We really work in dynamic movement patterns, and I only talk in movement patterns. There's no such thing as like a bicep curl in my world or anything. No offense to anybody who in that.
Would this be more like slow controlled movements?
No.
Or
no.
Not necessarily?
Actually, this is a good point. And you talked about we were talking about neuro pathways and what we do in protocol for our older people. I got guys in their 80s. Power is one of the most important things. One thing I just posted something about this actually. One thing that we drop that becomes almost dormant for everybody as they get older is they don't have power and they don't have the reaction time nor the response time. But that's because you don't do anything towards that. It can be done at any level and build up. I've got guys in their 80s that never thought they would jump again, and now they're jumping. But it was progressively built based on their formality of movement. And as you build that, they can do great things. And now their power and reaction time, and they're playing tennis better than they were when they were 70. It's mind-boggling. There's such great things you can do, but that's where the neural pathways takes over. Such big, and power is for everybody. I write power in every protocol, and it's better to start out with power when you're more receptive to it in the beginning of your workout than at the end of the workout.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you talking about, power specifically?
Power is just...
Give an example.
So we know it physically. I mean, from a physics standpoint, it's force and velocity.
Yeah.
So you want to combine the both as the highest point possible, but you're still distributing power if one's higher than the other. So like, just simple things, throwing a med ball, slamming a med ball. All those things are power distribution. Anything where you're executing higher force. The great thing about loading weight and doing it is you have a release mechanism at that point. It's different than you just doing it on your own.
Some people might say like, oh, I'm getting a second wind, which is talking about power, their force or whatnot.
Yeah, you're trying to adapt the fast twitch that's dormant, basically. Your body doesn't know how to transmit it unless you teach it to transmit it. And over time, all of a sudden you'll just be exposed. You'll just start firing up like that. And you're like, where did all this come from? Jumping, all that stuff. You can do things that provide that power. Olympic lifting is a manipulative, explosive exercise, but things that are explosive. Like I can take someone who can't even do a push-up and I can still associate the power. So you can raise them up on a high incline, have them do a push-up and press off and launch themselves off of the bar for a couple inches, but they're floating, they're at a high angle. It's easy for them. And they can't even do a regular push-up, but they can still do plyometric push-ups, but they're at an incline. It's just little things to associate that distribution of power. And power is very important to put in every day.
Okay.
I think people drop that more than anything else.
So like clapping push-ups versus regular push-ups.
That's explosive. Yes, that would be power. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can do days that are explosive days. Like I train athletes only on explosive days too.
I like this, explosive days.
They'll
This
still
just sounds great. Start eating beets and having explosive days.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sweet.
Hello.
Life.
That's awesome.
Take that to Instagram
This is
tomorrow.
life changing right
That's
now.
awesome.
But you put power in everything. Any kind of protocol that you do. And I still do hypertrophy, even though I'm an athlete, I put hypertrophy lifting in their circuit training as well. Densities are one of the best all-around functional circuit training you could ever do. And that's just covering 5 to 7 major movement patterns and setting a time, but the time is a guideline for yourself as opposed to racing for time.
Messing with my timetable.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the rest, the intervals in between 20 seconds was the...
Yeah, like I guess to understand a density, the easiest way is to say, hey, I'm going to have a push, pull, agility, core, hip flexor. My agility could be my explosive or power distribution or whatever. I'm covering all those. So if I got a hip dominant movement, like a squat, push press, whatever you want to do.
Love squats.
Anything, unilateral squats, all that kind of stuff. Anything that's hip dominant like that, you put in there. To me, you get more advanced, you'll add a knee dominant. So you go unilateral in the movement, lunges, things like that can work too. But then all those patterns, so you take it and what you're going to do is you're going to take a weight load that you could do max 10 times. So you got your 10 rep max. Drop it down to 8 so you're not burning yourself out and killing the quality and the fatigue. And then you set a minute per exercise. So if I want to do 3 rounds, I'm going to set my time for 15 minutes. Now, the problem is that it's a guideline. It's not racing for it. So you're right. You want to have that 15 to 20 seconds rest in between, somewhere in there. But even if you get more, like something that's going to gas you out a little bit more, or you got to rest a little bit more before it, that's fine. You go by feel. But the time will tell you, like if I'm going too fast and I'm way over my time, I'm finishing in the 17s instead of 15 minutes, it's a little harder than it should be. The intensity needs to drop down a little bit. Something's too heavy or something. If I'm flying through it, I need to pick up the load, intensity, or vice versa, to where you're getting that at high intensity. That's true high intensity training, by the way.
Okay.
You weren't kidding about this iceberg. I'm like trying to keep up. I need a whiteboard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's
You're
a bit.
a
I went too
wealth.
fast.
It's a bit much.
Wealth of knowledge.
Sorry.
So
Very smart man
So
right here.
what you're talking about
appreciate
is
that.
for layman's, it would be a circuit training. So you would get on, you would do what? One squat? Would you do
What I
a
was
series
saying
of
is-
lunges and then a series
You
of
just said you would do what?
one
No,
squat?
every exercise you pick a load or an intensity that you could do max 10 to 12 times. Your 10 to 12 rep max.
Okay.
And then you do 8 reps in the circuit. You don't do 10 to 12 because you cannot maintain that in a metabolic efficiently.
I've
Can't
got
maintain that in
this.
a metabolic
I've got
rate.
it now.
Okay. So you would jump on. It would be like burpees.
Yeah, that would go in your agility category.
Okay.
I'm thinking squats.
It's like a
weighted
plug and
squats.
play. So if you got a bunch of exercises that fit in there, you just plug and play it in, and then you're
Okay.
structurally protecting yourself as you do the workout and stuff.
So what would be those 4 exercises, 5 exercises?
So the simplest one, they get really complex, but the simplest one is to do 5 major movement patterns. So you take a push, so push up, or weighted push up, bench on the ball, anything that halfway on a bench with dumbbells, anything where your 10 rep, 12 rep top 12 rep max is.
Okay.
Drop that down to 8. So I know, hey, I can do bench with 50-pound dumbbells on a ball 10 times. Perfect. You're going to do that 8 times. You do a pull, do a plank row. Maybe you do alternating plank rows. So grab a dumbbell and you're going to row 8 on each side.
Okay.
You know that's your one arm max though, that 50 pounds. Usually your push and pull is reflective, so you do the same weight. Then you're going to have a anti-rotation or core, and you'll do something like, feet in the stirrups on a T-Rex and tucks, or anything that's a core exercise where you're stabilizing and it's intensely. That's the hard part for people, is finding an intense enough core. And there's plenty of them. People don't know them. And then you're going to go to an agility, like you're saying, burpees or whatever. And then your last one would be hip or knee dominant. So a squat, deep squat. You can go overhead squat. You can do, front squat, lows, change it up. Goblet hold, squat.
You just remind me of like Forrest Gump right now. You can get shrimp gumbo. You can get shrimp salad.
Pie.
Oh my God. Okay, so like I said, we never have enough time when Brandon's on the show because it just pours out. It's like, and then you start talking really fast.
I'm sorry.
And it's oh my God. Okay, so
he's great.
This is why we had an entire month. It was just you on here for a month. It was like you and me.
We should probably keep it on topic then.
And Logan, thank you for coming back again. Because the last time we came on, we talked about peptides and all the other stuff. We didn't even get to touch on diet, and that's what you're an expert in diet. Know.
Well, you weren't fair to him.
What are you talking about? Cool. Well, we're about to wrap up. Sarah, do you have anything to add?
I'm just here. Hi.
Cool. Well, you can find us.
Jerod, real quick.
Yeah.
I got to give props to Coach Dose, one of my biggest mentors, probably one of the best strength coaches in the country. He is doing the coolest thing. Hopefully, I'm coaching one of them. I will be there on Tuesday.
Okay.
Nike is doing, because they're doing the Nike tour and everything, he's involved with, and all the coaches that are involved with him. And he's going to be doing it in different segments around LA. It is the coolest freaking thing. Like, they're doing it above the 405 freeway, I think, this week, and they do different areas. It'll be like downtown LA, all these different.
So they're doing fitness
urban style areas. Yeah, Nike complete. It's free.
It's like a fitness exhibition, right?
It's a workout. You go there and you work out.
Oh, so you can go in and you can work out for free.
You're going to work out in the middle of downtown LA or whatever, and you work out for free. And Nike's top trainers, he teaches all their elite trainers and everything. Probably, argumentatively, one of the best strength coaches there is. And what they're going to do is on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 8:30. Completely free. Saturday, it's 10 to 12 p.m. He will be there as of next Tuesday. The only problem is this Saturday, you have to go there to register because it's completely sold out the first week. I don't want to say sold out, but it's booked.
Okay.
I will be there if you guys want to come and meet me and stuff. But it's the coolest thing. He's an awesome dude, and he's doing great stuff.
We're going to go burn some of Sarah's water off.
Oh, can we please? With some Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Boom.
Papa, bitches!
Whoa.
Okay. Cool. Do you have anything to add, Logan?
Yeah, I just want to say, everybody exercises the physical body, but very few people exercise the mind, and that's meditation, affirmations, visualization. I'm big into that stuff. I mean, we're in a vanity capital of the world. Everybody focuses on their physical body on the outside. Few people do anything on the inside, so I'm big on that. So, hey, do your work on the inside. Most people don't. They're on automatic pilot all day.
Amen.
So, Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You got to start with the brain first. So.
Yeah. Perfect. And one more time, so people, what's your website, Brandon? What's your website, Logan?
RelentlessFitX.com. RelentlessFitX.com. And I wanted to say, by the way, I got a new sponsor. So it's Get Wise Fool. If you guys go onto their site, they'll give you free apparel. They sponsor athletes and stuff. If you put in Relentless Fit X on their site, they'll give you 15% off. So you guys might well take advantage of that. Full site, 50% off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm at 22days.com, 2 days, and then Logan Jason on Facebook, 22 days on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah.
22 days.
Cool. 22 days. Well, that was action-packed. I mean, 48 minutes straight through, no breaks. Yep. And I think that I'm so overloaded, I got to rewatch this show.
We're all going to have beats.
Yeah, let's go home and eat some beats.
I'm definitely going to have some beats.
I think, okay. So, as always, you can find us at methodologythemodernmale.com, modernmaleinc.com. You can find us at on Facebook. Don't look at our Facebook. Facebook
Probably
sucks.
Not.
Instagram, you can find us at modern.male. Twitter at male methodology. Pretty much the only thing you're gonna find on Facebook is my Twitter account and my Instagram account. So, cool. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Modern Male Radio.
You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski, right here on LA Talk Radio.